we're just going to stand and we're going to find our comfortable, I know, right? Meeting, and it's a full house today. Yay! Glad I moved everything around. Okay, so let's just start with our breath. So I'm going to have you bring your arms along beside you. Okay. So you're standing up tall. You're feeling all the toes connected, the heel, more weight into your heels. So I know you're kind of standing with your shoulders over the hips. And we're just going to take a big inhale and open the arms up and reach into the ceiling and exhale, press down. And let's just go inhale, pull the belly up, and we're going to talk about our breath in a minute. Exhale. And you're standing nice and tall. Inhale up and exhale down. And we're going to pause right here. I'm going to have you take your hands right to the rib cage. Okay. So this is your breath practice that we haven't done in a while. So remember, more weight in the heels, all the toes connected. You're lifted from the belly. As you inhale, I want you to feel the ribs open to the side. And as you exhale, use the abdominals. Exhale all the air, pull those ribs together. Inhale. And exhale. So we're not belly breathing here. We're breathing into the lungs. Our shoulders are down. You should feel your arms open. And one more. And your belly tighten as you exhale. Okay, we're going to bring our feet together and we're going to go into some side curls. So I'm going to have you step your right foot out to the right, bend into the knee, come on up and over into that big side curl. So one arm is down, resting on the top of the other knee, and then step back up and go the other way. Up and over, and exhale, come up and inhale. Big, big reach. And come on up and inhale. Using these sideways to press yourself up. One more time, each side. Inhale up and over, baby, glancing under that higher arm. Come on up to standing. We're going to widen our feet to a second position. We're going to go into some knee bends. So again, more weight in the heels, maybe a little more weight in that outer part of the foot. Hands are going to the hips. So as you inhale, I'm going to have you bend and just look at your knees, okay? Are they over, can you see your toe? Are they over your second and third toe? Press yourself away from the floor. Inhale, doesn't have to be big here. Just moving in the knees. No big deep bends here. We're going to add our arms, okay? So you're going to go up and exhale, press. And inhale, up. Pull those shoulders down. And last one. And we're going to stay down in that kind of half bend. Doesn't have to be deep here, okay? It can even be a lengthened leg if you want. I'm going to rotate one palm up, the other down. And I'm going to switch. And I'm going to let my shoulders kind of move and rotate. But my belly is tight. And I'm trying to keep my shoulders over the hips. Like from the shoulders to the hips is a cylinder. Nice and tall. 3 and 2. Big rotation of the palm. Last one. And stand up tall. Okay, here we go. That was your warm up. So let's stand comfortable on our feet again with the weight more into the heels. How do you let your hands just kind of relax, shoulders down, let the head fall, and feel the stretch at the back side. So your head is heavy. Your head is going to lead the way, but I want you to try to put weight in the heels so that the hips try to stay over those ankles. Coming down just as far as you feel comfortable to start. Pull the belly up, look up to the navel, and rebuild from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. We're going to go 2 more like that and just work into it. So head drops, start to lower, like you're diving into a pool right in the front of your toes there. Head is heavy, look up to the belly on an exhale, trying to tuck the tailbone, stack the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. One more time. Roll it down. And this time when the hands come down to the floor, walk yourself out into a plank. Okay, we're not going to stay here. We're going to stretch. So my feet are kind of that parallel hip distance position. I'm going to drop my pelvis down and just hang out here and get myself kind of in my right plank form. Okay. So my neck is long, shoulders are pulling down the back. I'm going to take a big inhale. I'm going to press my hips up And now I'm going to bend one knee and drop the chest toward that knee, really pressing into the ground. And back up, high heels and other side. So maybe almost moving that chest toward that bent knee, pushing into the earth with the hand and trying to open up that upper back and pressing the opposite heel for that calf stretch. One more. Lift heels high, shift into that plank. Pull the shoulders down. Be careful as you drop the knees and roll over onto our side with bent knees. Okay? So I'm going to have you move forward of your mat with your hips. You're going to lay down. Bottom arm is bent. And my legs are maybe not pulling quite so deep as a chair position, a little extended away from my torso. And my top arm bent, elbow, hands and fingers clasped behind my head. And that bottom arm is going to stay down. We're going to take an inhale as we open. Push the top hip forward as you open up that top elbow. And then take an exhale to come back to center. And a big inhale, open. Maybe you're getting bigger. And exhale, keep your belly as tight as you can as you exhale and come back. Inhale, you're trying to keep that top hip forward, not settling back. One more time. Open it up and pause right here. Extend that top arm and just let it rest. Kind of be heavy. Maybe you feel a bigger stretch across the front. And we're going to bring it back forward, long arm, palm to the floor. Now I'm going to have you circle it up, around as you rotate, come over the hip and back to your start. Up, and over, and one more time. And of course, we're going to reverse it, right? So feel kind of the shoulders moving, the shoulder joint kind of getting lubricated. And one more time, and just go as big as you feel comfortable. And then I'm going to take my top arm and press myself up. I'm going to switch sides. All right. So forward of your mat, down on that bottom arm, bent elbow. Like you're getting ready to sleep in bed, but you're not. And elbows are closed in front of you, kind of like a clam, right? As you open the elbow, you're letting that arm, top elbow kind of pull back. And then you're exhaling to come forward, and you're inhaling, open. And you're exhaling, come forward. Remember that top hip. Don't let it roll back, and use that exhale, tighten the belly to come back. Here's your last one, open. You're going to let that arm, top arm open up to the side. Or above me. Close the arm in front, long arm. Now we're going to sweep it up, around, and come back over the hip and forward. And inhale up and over, keeping the hips pressing forward. Don't let that top hip roll back. Get a bigger stretch. And then we're going to go one more the other way. That wasn't me. For once. Inhale up and over. We got one more. Should feel really good. That was me that time. Okay. All right. We're going to roll down to our back side. Okay. I'm going to have you extend your legs long, all right, and make sure you're on your mat. We're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling, pull your shoulders down. We're just going to go up and stay up, okay? So we'll roll up, chin to chest, arms start to reach for those toes. Pull the ribs, pull the belly back, and then forward fold. Stretch the spine, should feel good. And then reset the spine, and we'll have it back. So we're coming to a bent knee position. And from here, we're going to take our hands to the mat. What am I going to do here? So I want you to get into a scooped position. So hands are going to start behind the knees. Sit up tall. So your back is up against the wall. Your spine is long. You're pulling your belly in. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just start to initiate with the belly pulling toward the ribs as you start to scoop. And then just start to curl yourself back. Okay? So find the connection. It's not about how far you go back, right? And curl yourself up. Sit up tall. It's about kind of using the right muscles here to get into that curl. I will go to like this. And as you get kind of warmed up here, and you find your point where you want to go to, if you want to lighten up the hands, toe. We're going one more time on an exhale. Scoop the belly. Trying to shift that tailbone between the toes. Hands are coming long beside you. So your palms are down. Fingertips are reaching to the toes. You're just going to lift the arms and press them down. And inhale up and exhale down. So my collarbones are wide. As I'm lifting and lowering my arms, I'm pulling my belly in. I'm exhaling as I press. Inhaling up. Let's go for 3 and 2. All the air comes out as you press. And last one. Scoop the belly, reach for the toes, sit up tall, and just take a deep breath. Open up the chest. We're going to go down. We'll add to that. Okay. So arms are going to reach forward now. If you need to support yourself behind the knees with the hands. Scoop the belly, exhale, pause right here. As you press, palms are going to rotate down. As you press the arms to the floor, you're going to lift the right leg. And inhale, arms come up, leg goes down. Exhale. Inhale. Sorry, we gotta have some fun in here. So exhaling, lifting to tabletop. Try to float the leg up. I don't want you using that thigh, quad, hip flexor. I want you exhaling and using the belly. And we're gonna go for 2. And you got one more set. And there you go. And I'm going to have you curl up and sit up tall. And let's just curl and forward fold. So if you're getting into your back, maybe use your hands to support yourself behind, maybe on the forearms. 3 go, 3 stack. Sit up tall, reach those arms forward, curl yourself back. I'm going to have you come down. So belly is tight. I'm on the back side of my pelvis now. I'm going to bring my right leg up and my left leg up. Okay, I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs together. I'm going to lift my chest up, open my collarbone. I'm going to tip and tap to the right of my mat. I'm going to use my obliques to come back to center, and I'm going to go the other way. Back to center. Inhale, dipping to the right. Exhale, coming center. Inhale. Remember, keep the legs out of it. I know it's hard to do that. They kick in if you get tired too. So take a break. Inhale. And one more to the left, using the obliques to come back to center. I'm going to tap to the right. I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to lift up on that right side, tap them down. I want you to use the obliques, the low belly, lift away from the floor, lift out of the shoulders. I'm going to go for 4. Using the belly, not the low back. And you got 2 more. And last one here. Come to center and go the other side for 6. I think we should do 8 just for you, Linda. And you got 4 more. 7. How about I do this? And here's 4 and 3. Floating those legs. I know. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. It's your fault. Set the feet down. Roll yourself down. Oh my gosh, okay. 25. There you go. All right, sorry. Okay. I'm going to have you extend your left leg long, hands coming behind the right knee. Okay. So we're going to curl ourselves up, hanging onto the back side of that leg. And as you curl up, you're going to slide that left foot into a bent knee position. As you curl up, and you'll stay there. So curl, bent left knee so hard, sit up tall. So from here, you can stay in a big scoop, okay? So I'm going to have you wrap the hands behind the leg, walk up to the ankle, the calf, wherever your leg goes. Scoop the belly, stretch and bend. Stretch and bend. Keep the belly tight. We're going to go 2 more like this. And last one, hold the leg long, hold the hands behind it, draw it in, extend the other leg, roll yourself down. All right. So from here, we're going to lift chin to chest. You're going to walk your hands up to the back side of that leg. We're going to go into some scissors. So cover that left leg, okay? So I want a double pull on that leg that's up to the ceiling. So a 1, 2, and then a switch. 1, 2, and a switch. 1, 2, and a switch. Keeping that chest lifted. We're going to land with the right leg. Hold it here. Hands go behind the head. Same thing, double. Control it, don't swing. You got one more set. And we're gonna add rotation. So let's extend the right leg up, rotate toward that right side, and we'll switch, not a double leg. Straight legs, rotating, kind of stretching that higher shoulder to reach toward that leg. 3, and 2, and 1. Land with that right leg lifted, roll yourself down, bend both knees, and roll yourself up. We have to do that on the other side, okay? We have one more set. Yes, we do. All right, let's all. Good morning. All right, so you're going to curl yourself back. Oh, sorry, keep that straight, right knee bent. Now, hands behind the calf or the ankle. Stretch it and stay in that scoop and back. And stretch and back. And 2 and 1 and pause. You're going to extend that right leg as you roll it down. We're going to hover that right leg. We're going to walk our hands up the left. And we're going to start that double leg pull with that scissor. Pull it in twice and switch side. And switch. Keeping that chest lifted. One more on the right, land on the left. Hold it here, hands behind the head. Same thing, double pulse. Keeping the chest lifted, the ribs pulling down. One more on the right, land on the left. Hold it here, I took a break here. Hands behind the head. Rotate to that left leg, no double pulse. And rotate. One more set. Oh, you should be warm now. And knees bend, lower down, and take a break. Okay, ladies, let's bring our feet together, our knees together. When we don't have toys, sometimes it's harder. So arms are long beside you. Actually, that's not true at all. Shoulders are nice and open. So I'm just going to have you drop your knees from one side to the other, but go slow. So as you dip your knees to one side, try to feel kind of the shoulders open, the chest wide, and let those knees settle. Take this time to kind of cool down. Belly tight, come back to center, use the belly, okay, not the spine. And exhale back to center and go one more time. Right. And come back to center. We'll go one more time. Other side if you started. Make yourself even, belly tight. Come on in. Take a little quick break. So I'm going to walk my legs out to maybe more of an extended bent knee. So my heels aren't in that bridging position. We're going to walk them out a little bit more. And I'm going to have your hands down, palms down the side. And they can go wider if you need them wider. Trying to keep the shoulders down and the chest open. I want to try to keep a neutral spine. If I imprint, that's fine too. Just do what feels right for you. Maybe half and half even. So I'm going to float up my right leg on an exhale. Just straight up from the floor, exhale. Okay, and it's just a little lift. And an inhale, set it down. And an exhale, left. So keeping the pelvis from tipping, keeping that low belly tight, and you're kind of in an extended little march, right? So I've got my legs extended more. I'm not bringing it up to a true tabletop. And we're going to go one more each side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, shoulders open. And here's your last one. We're going double, okay? So just that little low hover above your mat, and then tap down and rest. And lift on an exhale. And tap it down. This is all low belly here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Legs are floating. I'm using my belly, not my hip flexors, not my quads. Okay, we're going to go for 4. And I will count, I promise. 3. Ribs are tight. And 2. How hard is this? And last one. So hard. And pause right there. We're going to build on that. All right. Can you believe we have like the whole 30 minutes left? I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm going to take my hands behind my head. Okay? And now as I lift my legs to that little hover, I'm going to lift my chest. Okay. So I'm going to curl up, hover, tap down, lower. Curl up, cover those legs, inhale, lower. Exhale, just that slight little lift off the floor, inhale, lower. Shoulder blades should stay down as I curl up. Try to keep my belly flat. We're going to hold the chest lift and pause. Dip the toes, lift, dip, lift, dip. You guys are doing it. 3, 20. And last one. And lower the feet, lower the head. You guys did fabulous. That was hard. Pull your knees into your chest. Oh, what's the grumbling over there? They're gossiping behind the scenes. All right, I'm going to have you guys do some bridging. So we'll start with some bridging and we'll move on. All right, so I'm just going to, let's start with this knees pulling into the chest, okay? And then separate the knees just to that hip distance, okay? And my hands are wide beside me, even palms rotate up if you want. And then let the knees fall and let the feet kind of settle where they settle. That should be a pretty good bridging position, okay? So from here, we're just going to start with that imprint. No weight in the feet as I exhale. I'm going to tip my pelvis back. And then I'm going to push down into my feet as I peel myself up. One bone at a time. I'm squeezing my butt as tight as I can, and I'm going to roll it down, trying to keep my knees reaching over my feet. And I'm going to roll up. We're going to go for 4 more. Peel it up. Try to work through any tension. Try to create space between every vertebrae as you roll down and on the up as well. Okay, so imprint, push down into the feet, roll it up to the shoulders, exhale. Roll it. All right, I'm going to bring my feet together. And I'm going to pull my heels closer towards my butt. I'm going to peel myself up, so I'm going to roll up into my bridge. So now pushing down into the feet, rolling up, and your knees really will feel like they're over the toes. If it doesn't feel good, walk them out a little bit. Okay? We're going to lift the heels up, squeeze the inner thighs, tap them down. Lift, tap, lift. Squeeze those inner thighs. The glutes are pulling together. My shoulders are resting and kind of open in the collarbones. I'm pushing into my toes to lift. And I'm pushing my heels as I lower. We go for 2. And hold it on this last one and pause, okay? So inner thighs squeezing. I'm going to dip my right hip down. My left hip kind of pushes up, right? And then I'm going to square them off, and I'm going to go the other way. So push up and squeeze, then dip the other way, and try to press into those toes and squeeze the butt to lift up into that nice high bridge. 2. And last one, set, by the way. And lift up, and yeah, roll yourself down. Sorry, I made those steps. Okay, let's stretch real quick. So I'm going to keep my left knee bent. My right knee is going to come in. I'm going to stretch my right leg out. And I'm going to draw it in toward my body. And if a curl up feels good for you, you can do it, or you can push kind of the tailbone down, trying to lift that low back from the floor as you stretch and pull the leg in. Bend the knee, go up forward. Lift that leg straight from that knee joint. And then bend and set that foot down. We'll go to the other side. So trying to keep the knee in line with my hip, that left side now. Stretch it up. Find the stretch that works for you. If you want to flex even, you can do that. And bend the knee and stretch it up. Place that foot down. I'm going to have you squeeze the inner thighs together, inner legs together, feet together. And I'm going to walk out kind of to a longer leg. So not a true bridge bend in the knees, but a more extended leg position. So you won't feel as if you get up as high when we roll up from here, but I'm going to have you squeeze and you're going to roll up. Okay. From here, your legs are a little farther out, feet away from the glutes. Okay, we're going to dip the hip to the right, and we're going to squeeze it up, and we're going to dip it to the left, and squeeze it up. Inhale as you dip. Exhale, press it to center. Exhale. Should feel kind of good. Releasing that side that you're dipping toward and pushing more weight into that side as you lift. Push. 2 and 1. Pause at the top, okay? Walk your feet back to a normal bridge or whatever you think is normal. Squeeze those inner thighs together, roll it down. Hold the knees into the chest. And place the feet down on the floor, hip distance apart. We're going to bridge ourselves up, so roll up nice and slow on an exhale. And pause at the top. So I really want you to connect more with the left side now, because we're going to bring our right leg to a tabletop. Bring it up. We're going to cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee. You're going to push down into that foot or that ankle to open up that right knee. And we're going to dip to that side, right side, and push up. Inhale, dip. Exhale, level those hips off, okay? So I want to push more into my heel of that stabilizing foot. Exhale, lift. And we're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it here, uncross the leg, bring it to a tabletop, extend it, lower with a flex, point up. Keep the hips still. Lower, lift, 3, 2, and 1. Tabletop the legs, set it down to the floor, roll yourself. Take a quick break. So that stabilizing leg should have been the working one, right? Yes. Okay, good. Breathe. All right. So peel it up again. Up into that bridge. Left leg will come up to a tabletop. Ankle crosses over the right knee. I like to flex, and I'm going to push into that knee that's extended, open out to that external rotation. Dip to the left. Push into the right foot to lift. Inhale, dip. Exhale, squeeze it up. Exhale. Really push more into that heel that's on the floor. 4. That's how you get the work. And really get that hip, that opposite hip lifted. 2 and 1. Pause here. Bring that leg to a tabletop. Extend it. Flex it lower. Point it up. Do not worry about big here. Worry more about keeping the hips still. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tabletop, foot to the floor, roll it down. Pull your knees. We'll stretch it. Another. So just dip the knees side to side. Let the hips lift, rolling on the back side of the pelvis. Pulling the knees in to the chest. And then letting them fall to feet to the floor. Extend the legs. We'll roll ourselves up. So arms reach, shoulders pull down. Take that inhale. And as you exhale, hands start to lower, lift to the toes, and see how perfect I am. And roll forward. It's not funny how that happens. All right, so just stretch here. I want you to feel your hamstrings. So if you can reach for the bottoms of the feet or the toes or the ankles, or hands can go behind the calves. But as you get into this stretch, try to feel more of the spine opening up, and as you lower toward the thighs, maybe you feel more hamstrings. How do you take your feet into a cross-leg position? So you can also extend them a little longer, whatever feels good. Remember which foot or which leg is in front. And sit up tall. And the leg that's in front should feel more of the stretch. So you're nice and tall, your belly is tight. We're going to walk our hands out. And now as I go out, I'm trying to kind of get into that bent elbow on my forearm position. And I want to push my tail out behind me and drop my chest a little deeper toward those chins, crossed ankles. And then I want to straighten my arms, tuck my chin, push into the floor as you push that spine spine open, kind of curl, right? And then walk your hands back and let's switch sides. All right, so nice and tall, start walking the hands out, trying to keep the spine as long and straight as you can. So, but don't force it, just get into your stretch. And then nice and slow, and let's rock my chest deeper forward. My ankles cross over, pushing my tailbone or my sitting bones out behind me. And then straightening my arms, pushing away from the floor, trying to round and curl, pull my ribs, my belly button back. And then walk. So we're going to go into a little bit of arm work. Okay. So I'm going to start with my knees bent, right? And my hands are on the floor beside my hips. And you'll kind of fool around with where it feels right for you. So from here, I want the spine long, your belly is lifted. And all I want you to do, so I have long arms, maybe it's easier for me to do. I'm going to straighten my elbows and try to lift my hips. And you don't have to lift them off the floor. You just want to push down to feel the length in the spine. Sitting bones down. Okay, so it's just a push, a lightening in the tailbone or the sitting bones, using the shoulders or down arms. Lifting, pulling the ribs, pulling the belly, and lower. And here's your last one. Lift, open those collarbones, and lower. And walk the hands back. Okay. So from here, finding that kind of good position for you, internal rotation, whatever works for you with your wrist. We're going to lift our pelvis up, but not high, okay? So I'm going to lift up, and I'm going to keep my hips lifted as I bend into my elbows and push up from the floor. And inhale. And if you want to do this in a true, like, reverse quadruped position, you can with the hips up high if you want. You do it. I'm not doing it. Keep your belly tight. Push. We got 5. Pushing into the heel of the hand, even my fingertips lift. And here's 3, and 2, and 1, and step the hips down, stretch the legs out. Okay, so my legs are now extended. It's been so long since I've done this. So it's fun to try to go, okay, okay. So hands are beside you, beside your hips. So same work, right? So from here, I'm going to push myself down or push away from the floor, right? Trying to stay out of my legs, pushing into my hands and sitting bones down. And I'm going to push. And you don't have to worry about how high you lift, okay? I just want you to feel the arms pushing away, the shoulders pulling down, and 1 more. And now as you lower, I want pressure in your hands. You're going to lift your right leg. No lifting the hips. Don't worry about that. Lift it up and lower it down. And lift the left. I can go this way. I don't want to. Use the belly. Push down into the hands. And can you lift both legs? I don't want to. That would be a bad one. Lift the right one more time. Pushing down into the ground, belly tight, and rest. We're going to push down into the hands. We're going to scoop the belly, tuck the chin, pull the belly to the spine, lifting the up. And you're going to roll forward, bend the knees, lift, squeeze the butt, straighten the legs, shift the hips between the forearms, curl. One more time. Lift. When was the last time you did this on the reformer? You said 1 more. I know. Sorry. I like it because it feels good. Okay, legs are long. Arms are back behind you. Internal, external, fingers forward, whatever works for your wrist. Shoulders open. Belly tight. I'm going to go to an external rotation because I don't like my feet parallel for this. I'm going to lift my hips up. I'm going to try to lengthen the front side of my body, and I'm going to bend my elbows. And push. And inhale. And exhale. I will not make you lift your legs here, okay? Or one leg, even not both. 2. And last one. Step the hips down, forward, roll. Just a little tricep forward. Stack. And let's go into a mermaid. So I'm not going to do that true big mermaid. I'm just going to stack my knees, one kind of stacked on top of the other. And I'm going to take my opposite arm and I'm going to reach it out to a T and I'm going to round up and over, pushing into the floor and pressing that top hip away and even coming down to my elbow. I'm going to reach up and over, push myself up, take my hand to that opposite shin, or same hand, same shin, and open up the wrist, pull the belly. And I'm going to go one more time over, coming down to my elbow, maybe glancing up under the arm and pushing that top hip away. And I'm going to come down to my forearms. Now I'm going to shift that top knee back, and then I want to line it up with my top hip. So I feel like a long spine, ear, shoulder, hip, knee. Okay, that's your line. All right, and I'm going to take both hands down to the floor, but I don't want to come down in this big twist, okay, unless you need that support, do that. I'm going to use my top arm to kind of stabilize me. Pull my belly in. I'm going to lift that top knee, and I'm going to squeeze it back using my glute, and I'm just going to bring it back in line with my hip. Squeeze it back. Hip. Squeeze it back. So you're using the glute, right, to squeeze and pull like you're trying to push that foot to the wall behind you without arching the back. And I'm exhaling. I'm going to go for 5 and 4 and 3. Keeping my belly tight. 2 and 1. Hold it back there. I want you to do little circles. And it's hard to try to control it. Belly is tight. 3, 2, 1, and switch. Pushing that knee back farther behind you as you circle back. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Extend the legs, both legs. Come down onto your bottom arm, okay? And we're going to lift that waistline. So I want you to shift that top hip forward. Use the top arm to stabilize. Flex at the feet. You're going to lift that top leg up, okay? And you're going to tap it down. And you're going to lift. So from here, we're not dipping the ribs down, right? We're keeping our hips from tipping in and out and back and forth. Staying on that side hip. Go for 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and hold that top leg up. Bottom leg matches, lower both down. Top up, bottom squeezes, lower down. Top up, bottom up, squeezing down. 3, and 2, and 1. Hold them both up and pause right here, okay? So from here, we're going to pulse up, little pulse, belly tight. So feel your obliques. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs down. Take a quick break, and we're going to do it on the other side. Okay. Do I have any quitters out there? All right. So I started with a mermaid position, right? So I want to actually stretch first is what I want. So come on up first. So knees are stacked. One hand on the floor, other to that T. So comfortable bend in the knees. Arm on the floor is going to bend, right? And we're going up and over. And then we're going to push the top hip away. I remember that on my own. And then come on up, maybe. Belly up and over. Push that top hip away by pushing into that elbow. And come up and over, and we'll go the other way. Bring it up, we'll go one more time. Over. And now we're going to come back down to that arm. Top arm I'm going to use to support me, or you can come down like this if you want. All right. So now my top knee is in line, right? Hip, shoulder, ear. And I'm going to try to stay lengthened in my spine. And I'm just going to keep a comfortable ankle. I'm going to push that leg back, trying not to push my belly forward as I push the foot behind me or the knee behind me. And I'm squeezing my butt. Trying to keep my spine long, my belly tight, my neck long, shoulders down, and using that butt to pull the leg back, not swinging here. leg is heavy. 3 and 2 and 1. And press the leg back and circle for 7. Like you're drawing circles on the wall away from you with the knee. Okay, keeping the bent leg. 2, 1, and reverse for 7. Try to keep the hips still. 5, 4. Squeeze it back. 3 and 2 and 1. And come on down, resting on that bottom arm. Legs are long, extended with a flex, and just squeezing the butt, lifting the ribs, and staying balanced on that side hip, right? And we're going to lift it up and lower down. And lower belly is tight. 3 and 2. And hold the leg up. Bottom leg matches. Lower both down. Lift the top. Squeeze the bottom. Lower. Lift. Squeeze. Lower. Belly tight. The last one. Hold it here, right? We're going to lift and lower both legs. Keeping that belly as tight as you can. 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs down. We'll just take a quick break, okay? We'll go do something fun. All right, so I'm going to have you guys come up onto the forearms, okay? And we're going to have our kind of shape will be, legs will be extended kind of at a hinge at your hip. But I want you to be forward on your mat so that those legs may actually come off that front edge of the mat, right? Because, you know. So lift from that bottom rib cage, okay? Top arm, you're going to use it. Bottom arm is going to support top arm light. We're going to roll onto our side or our side glute, our left butt cheek, as we lift the legs up, right? Reaching for the toes and come back and tap them down. Okay? You guys know this one. Just using that top oblique to lift the legs and rotate you kind of back to that start or your center. 2, keep the belly tight, hold it on this last one and pause, okay? Lower legs, lift them up, lower. So you're on that side hip, you're lifting from the belly, and 2 and 1, lower down, press yourself up, switch sides. We are finishing with this, ladies. Oh my God. Nice hair. Okay, forward, mine too, right? All right, so I'm on my little elbow. I'm going to use my top arm. You want your feet kind of off the front and your hips a little bit into the forward part of your mat. And we're going to take that top arm and we're going to reach it long. And we're going to lift. And we're going to lower and find our center. And we're going to lift. And remember, don't swing here. Use your belly. You got 2. And last one. Lift and pause. Reach for those toes. Lower, lift. So you're on that one little butt cheek, right? Maybe it's big. I don't know. And 2. And 1. And lower it down. Oh, and rest. Rest, everyone. Come on to your back. All right. And just remember, I actually had 20 more things to do. But I couldn't fit them all in today because I get so excited. All right. All right, I'm going to have you guys. So you're laying on your back, your knees are bent, just hold the knees in, and then open them up. Okay. And then if you want, go to your ankles or your insoles of your feet and just rock in your big happy baby. And just rest and breathe. And if your heart rate is up, just be thankful we did not do that plank that I wanted to. All right, and bring the knees down. Pull them into the chest. Let the low back curl up. And then I'm going to have you just extend your legs on the mat. Okay, I don't want you to work here. Well, you can if you want. You can roll up if you want to do that. I'll do that. If you don't want to, just press. Come on up to the chest. Roll it up, belly tight. Oh, yes, everyone went for the challenge. Sometimes after a stretch, it's actually easier, right? A little cardio in here today. Okay, I'm gonna bend my knees, all right? And this is just a stretch, so no more work. All right, so I just want to take one arm to the outer opposite knee or thigh, okay? My palm is rotated away from my body. And then the other arm out behind, and just gently draw yourself around. So as I rotate around, I really want to pull my shoulders down. It's a way bigger stretch. Trying to keep my sitting bones on the floor. And then I'm going to come back to the center. And I just kind of get myself into position, and then I start to add on all my little tweaks. So my shoulders are pulling down, my neck is on. I'm breathing. Don't forget that. All right, curl over the top of your legs, let your forehead come towards the knees, round the spine, pull the belly back, push, or use those arms to pull against or push against. Good, let's go one more time. So round the back. Sit up tall, and we're going to go to that rotation stretch one more time. You're going to take that first starting arm out to the outside of that leg. Hand comes behind you. You might feel a little twistier now, a little looser. Shoulders are pulling down, looking kind of behind you. And then come back to your center. Everyone calming down. The breathing is slowing. Use the hands, kind of wrap the hands around the back of the legs, really push that back open, kind of pulling the belly back, tucking chin to chest. There. Tall, and we're gonna be done. Yes, we are. You guys did it. Ha ha ha. And we got away without side planking, which is definitely a weakness we've identified. Oh, yeah. So we will be doing that some more. All right. Happy Monday. And I'll see you, or Cindy will see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.